guys, thanks for tuning in to another video. Today is pretty exciting because Lund just emailed me back this morning and they sent me the tune. If you guys don't know, I ended up ordering a tune through Lund last week. They got back to me this week. Now it's time to fire up the Engage, drop the tune on it, and do some data logging so that they can send me my E85 race tune and my flex tune for my 2019 Mustang GT. So without further ado, today we're going to walk you through all the steps you need to do in terms of how to use the Engage. I'm also installing my JLT intake because the stock tune that they sent me has that modification on it. So I need to install the intake and then I can load the tune, do some data logging for them. Hopefully things go well. Here we go. Woo, guys, we've been working on the intake. I got the intake in. I've been doing a live stream too, so if you haven't already, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified when I do go live. But the intake's in. I got the strut bar off, the engine cover off, just putting in the last pieces of the intake on before I connect to the mass airflow sensor, but everything else is hooked up. We did end up leaving the sound tube on the car, so that's on there. I'm thinking about deleting it, but probably do it later. As of right now, I'm just worried about installing the intake, getting some data logs so I can send them over to Lund. Alright boys, got to move the Challenger out of the way because the install is done on the Mustang. This is the stock airbox right here. Now that it's out, I'm just going to store it away in case we ever need it for whatever reason, you know, getting pulled over, having to go back to stock or selling the car. I just like to keep all the stock components. These are the SRT wheels, since the SRT has new wheels and tires sitting on it right now, as you can see. And we haven't dropped her just yet, but that's not the point right now. So we're gonna go ahead and move the SRT across the street so I can pull the Mustang out because I have to go in data log. Intake's already installed. You guys have probably seen that already. I also did a live stream on it. But now I'll walk you through kind of what we have to do next in order to get this tune all done. So here we go.
Alright guys, so now the next step is here, and that is to go ahead and install our Engage into the vehicle. The Engage is a tuning device that is used by a lot of tuners to help you load and flash your ECU with the tunes that are supplied. It can also read codes, and it does a lot of other things. The way it plugs into the car is through the OBD2 port, so all you got to do is plug it up and it'll turn right on. As you can see here, it's showing me an RPM meter, but I went out of there and went to the main menu. This was my first time using the Engage, but I found that it's pretty easy to use, pretty straightforward. Not the best device in the world, but it definitely gets the job done, and not too many complaints there. So Lund sent me a tune. I loaded the tune onto an SD card and plugged the SD card into the bottom of the Engage, and that's how you kind of do the transfer of the tunes from your computer to the Engage. So transferring a tune onto the car though, or flashing the car, usually takes between 11 and 15 minutes your first time around, just because the Engage is saving your stock calibrations or your stock tune onto the device in case you ever need to revert back to stock. It's a good idea to have that. So it automatically does that the moment you plug it up. So it might take a little bit of time the first time around. So for me, it took a total, I think, of like 11 to 15 minutes or so to fully complete. And once it was done, the car was good to go. It had the 91, 93 tune on there, and that's the first tune that Lund sent me just to do some data logging and see how it goes with my car. So as you'll see here, I'm about to start the car up. Here we go.
Here we go for startup. A little nervous, but so I guess we're running the tune now. Connecting to vehicle again.
Alrighty guys, so with the tune installed and the car fired up, we are ready to go ahead and do our first data log. This is something that Lund requires before they can send you your actual flex tune or 85 tune. So in order to get data logging, we let the car warm up, and then you need to find a nice spot where you can kind of chill out and do a few pulls, do a few revs, and have the car idle, because that is all required as part of the first data logging session. So what I did, I just drove down the street somewhere quiet, far away from everyone, just so I could take care of all the required procedures for this data log. And I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the whole thing right now. So first things first is you want to make sure the car is warmed up. Then you want the car to idle between 3 to 5 minutes. During that time, the data log should be active. You should be recording data. And once those 3 to 5 minutes pass, you're going to rev the car to 1500 RPM, 2500 RPM, and 3500 RPM, each time holding it for 10 seconds, just so that you can you're able to capture data at those different RPM points. Once that's done, you're going to go ahead and do a drive where you take the car slowly from 2000 RPM up to 5000 RPM, at partial throttle, and then you're going to do 2000 to 7000 RPM at wide open throttle. Let the car idle for 2 minutes after that, and then end your data log right there. Send all that information over to Lund, which is exactly what I did. I came home and I sent the information over to Lund, and they're able to read it, make any adjustments that are necessary, and then they'll email you back your 85 and your flex tune, and that will be your tuned Mustang. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a drive with the 91-93 tune and give you guys my initial reactions. Here we go.
Now we can drive the car. I'm going to test out the JLT intake, see how that feels. I want to see if I can hear a difference or anything like that. everything feels better. And I'm not even just talking like responsiveness of the engine, but just the feel of the clutch even. Like, it's just smoother. I don't know if the tune does anything like that or there's any type of software. But it feels very nice. You can tell Lund tunes a lot of these cars because this is just a basic tune they just sent me. Hasn't been customized or anything like that. Alright guys, so I just got back. Car feels great. That was really cool how that's just like a 91 tune and it felt really good. I don't know why, but like shifting felt so much smoother than it usually is. So I don't know if the tune does anything has anything to do with the manual, but it might, because that shifting was super smooth after I did the whole tune on the car. It drove really smooth. But now I'm gonna go ahead and take the data log that we just did, send it over to Lund, have them do their thing, and then they're going to send me back all the files for the different tunes like the 85 and all that stuff. So here we go.
And just like that, you've made it to the end of yet another Rush Shift video. Thank you for watching and subscribe and showing your love. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do so and continue to watch these awesome videos that just popped up on the screen. I will see you in the next one. Rush Shift signing out. Peace.